Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, my name's Dean, and I'm a compulsive gambler. Sorry, that's a really bad habit when I'm addressing people nowadays. I'm very happy to be stood here today and giving a speech for the very first time as a married man. I'm also very aware this is probably the last time I can speak for myself, so I better make the most of it. I'd like to thank you all in advance for the next 2 hours of your attention. In fact, I'm going to be daring enough and speak on behalf of my beautiful wife and I. And I'm going to start by saying a massive thank you to every single person that sat here today. Thank you so much for giving up your time and making the effort to be with us today to celebrate such a special day. When we were planning the wedding, I thought, wouldn't it be a clever idea to find a venue that's in the middle of nowhere, miles away from everyone, in the hope that no one would turn up. It would certainly make this speech a lot less daunting. But it's that makes it even more special. We're absolutely blown away by and honoured by the effort that you've all made to be here today to celebrate with us. And a special mention must go to Fran and Gaynor, who have literally travelled from the other side of the world. Now, there's a few special people that I need to mention, and I'm going to start off with the star of the show, Jen. Let me say by how beautiful you look today, Jen. If it wasn't for Amanda, you'd be the most beautiful person in the room. And to be fair, if it wasn't for Rob and Amanda, it may be you sat here today. But no, honestly, Jen, I want to say a massive thank you to you. Everything you've done today, the beautiful reading that you did earlier, your amazing speech, helping Amanda with the hen party and everything. But most of all, I just want to say thank you for your friendship, not just to Amanda, but to me as well. For anyone that knows Jen, you'll know that she's always the life and soul of the party. But what they probably don't see is that she's one of the most kindest, most thoughtful and caring people I've ever met. No matter what anyone needs, you're always the first person putting your hand up to help and support. And it's that person you are that gives me great comfort in knowing that Amanda has you by her side. Not to mention, you have the patience of the saint, being married to that beautiful strawberry blonde husband of yours. All joking aside, you've both been there since day one of our relationship, and 8 years on, the four of us are closer than ever. You mean the absolute world to Amanda and I, so I'd like you all to raise a glass to Jen.
Love you, Jen.
Now to my best man and my groomsmen, Dave, Nick and Lee. Well, what can I say to you boys? I've had the absolute displeasure of knowing you both since we met at uni at the age of 18. We're now considerably older, arguably wiser, but my God, we're still as sexy. We've been through so much together and we've had some incredible holidays. Like Dave said, we've been to Cavos, Santee, Dublin, Vegas, skiing in Val Thorens, just to name a few. I'm incredibly lucky to have such a great group of mates, and no matter whatever's happened in life, you guys have always been there for me. And for that, both Amanda and I are extremely grateful. I'll say a few words for Lee. For those you don't know, Lee's probably the wild child of the group. He's always there to bring a smile to your face. He has an incredible way of bringing you up when you're down. And my God, does he love to throw a party. And send wedding memes. He sent me about 2,000 reels in the last 6 months. Half the stuff here is from what he sent me. It was actually one of Lee's parties that made us all met. When I went to look around Bournemouth Uni, there was a Grease party being thrown in the student bar, which is one that Lee organised. I walked in and went, yeah, this is where I want to come. This is where I want to be. Went to uni, got a job there. That's where we all met. If it weren't for your parties, mate, we wouldn't be here. Life would be so different. Nick. Now, Nick's my sports partner in crime. I'm not sure Amanda and Sarah are quite so happy about it, but from about August to February every year, they lose us every single Sunday. 6 p.m. on a Sunday, we have 7 hours of uninterrupted NFL red zone action. Kids, wife, don't matter, goes out the window. No matter what, we spent umpteen hours, fantasy drafts and everything else. Now, she might not have said it in her promises earlier, Nick, but Amanda has said to me, although we're still married, I can still get that privilege. She said, as long as you do the washing up. So I hope you bought me some marigolds, mate, for a wedding present. Now, my best man, Dave, there's many great things I want to say about you, but given your speech earlier, I'm questioning whether that's still the case. Firstly, thank you. Thank you for all the support you've given me today. Thank you for always being by my side, for all the efforts you made with the stag party, and for always putting a beer in my hand when it's needed. Dave, what I see when I look at you is I see the man I want to be. I see a confident, successful and grounded person who's always been an incredible friend and has grown to be an incredible husband and father. You've always been a role model to me, bad influence at times, but I'm forever grateful to have you in my life, and all the help and advice you've given me over the years has been massively appreciated. The life that yourself and Lou have created together makes me excited for the life that Amanda and I can have. So if you can all join me in raising your glasses to Dave, Nick and Lee. Now, I'm sure most of you know, I come from a very loving home growing up. However, when it comes to marriage, perhaps it wasn't the best influence at times. You know, your parents separating, your mum throwing your dad's clothes all over someone else's driveway, I mean. However, on reflection, I will say it's taught me a massive life lesson. I mean, whenever I drive to my girlfriend's house, I always check the mirrors to see if Amanda's following me. All joking aside, and that was tongue-in-cheek, and I apologise if I caused any offence. It was meant in light-hearted. We're all grown-ups, we've all moved on. No, but honestly, I had a great upbringing, and I was very fortunate to have two really strong male role models in my life, with my dad and with Ian. It's fair to say you're very different characters. However, you both show me in different ways what it means to be responsible in life, what it takes to provide for your family and the loved ones around you. You've both been extremely selfish, and you've brought up children that aren't your own, including me. And what that says, and that says everything that anyone would ever need to know about you both. Thank you for what you've done in making me the man that I am today. Now, to the second most important woman here today. She may argue otherwise, but my mum. I have so much to thank you for in life, and perhaps some would say it's a parental obligation. However, no matter what I've done, whether it's from school, college, uni, work, or the partners I've had, wherever it may be, you've always given me your full support, and you've always been my biggest supporter. You only ever see the best in me, perhaps naively at times. And I'm sure many people have heard over the years, no, not my Dean. Well, I'm forever grateful for your blind faith in me. I appreciate all the love that you've given to me and to Amanda as well. We're both extremely fortunate and grateful to have you in our lives. And thank you so much for everything you've done. There's one final group of people I'd like to take this opportunity to thank publicly before I move on to the star of the show. Simon, Matt, Phil, Jeff and Matt. To most of you, they probably sound like a very British 90s boys band. However, to me, they are a very special group of men. I started my speech by joking about being a compulsive gambler. However, due to this group of men, I can confidently stand here and say that I haven't been for almost 5 years now. This is something I often struggle to talk about honestly and openly for fear of judgment or being afraid of labels or terminology. However, for anyone who's been fortunate enough to be involved in recovery programs and meeting, you'll understand that the outlay of the addiction, whether it be drinks, drugs, gambling, is just a symptom of the problem, and that the underlying root of any problem lies within ourselves, within our thoughts, our behaviours, or our decision making. And what these guys have taught me is that by taking time each week to work on ourselves, having people around me that I can speak openly and honestly with, without fear of judgment, can transform the way of thinking and behaving. It's no coincidence that since I've stopped gambling over the last 5 years, Amanda and I have been able to buy our first home, been able to get engaged, gone on some incredible holidays, have the beautiful dog that we have, managed to buy into a business, and most importantly, have this beautiful day that we're all here today celebrating. My life has truly been transformed because of the gentleman I've already mentioned. And since you've come into my life, I would never be able to thank you all with words alone. However, I'll ensure to continue to show you with my actions, just one day at a time. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all still being me at this point. I'm really aware I've gone on some time. Hopefully you haven't found it too gushy or too sickly. Apologies if you have, because it's only going to get worse from here. Especially if you're not a Taylor Swift fan as well. Amanda, I can't believe this day is here, and I finally get to call you my wife. You look incredibly beautiful today, and although I already know it, I feel luckier than ever. You know I like shiny things, but the way you look today, I'd marry you with paper rings. Oh yeah. They say time flies when you're having fun, and that's certainly true for the last 8 years of our life. It feels like only yesterday when we first met at Palmer Snow. However, I've loved you 8 summers now, honey. I want them all. The last eight years have been an incredible journey, and whilst we've had our challenges, I wouldn't change a single minute, as it's led us to where we are today. You've showed me colours you know I can't see with anyone else. Without reciting my promises earlier, there's a couple of things I think that are worth repeating. You're the most beautiful, kind-hearted and caring person with many incredible talents. Whilst I would say you're perfect, there's one simple thing I would change about you. I'd give you the ability to see yourself through my eyes, so that you can realise how amazing you are and have the self-confidence in you that I do. You're the best thing to ever be mine. Whilst I've been involved in organising this wedding, every detail is down to you. You just have to look at the bookmarks you've made, the table plans, the A-boards, the signs, the gift bags, everything you've done to make this weekend possible, the personal touches you've brought has just made it extra special. You're extremely talented and you're able to achieve anything you put your mind to and believe in. Whilst I promised I'd make sure I'm the best version of myself for you, I absolutely promise to make sure you're the best version of yourself by giving you all the love and support you deserve. Just be yourself. There's no one better. Thank you for everything you do for Blue and I. Without you, we wouldn't be able to survive or function in life. What I find amazing is that you took time to memorise me, my fears, my hopes and dreams, and I'm sure everyone knows it today, but you are my lover. As Amanda's favourite singer once sang, I'll be your prince, you'll be my princess. It's our love story, baby, and you said yes. Thank you all for listening so long, and I'm just going to finish by sharing a question that was put to me recently by a friend of mine, which I found really thought-provoking. He said, how many times in life have you bought flowers for somebody to make yourself feel better and not them? For many years, this would completely sum up my actions, and I would only ever act on my own interested hearts. This was until I met Amanda and truly knew what love was and how to act with someone else's feelings and interests as the sole focus. Amanda, to sum it up, most people think love is for show, but I would die for you in secret. Please join me in one final toast before I stop talking and let you all get on and eat. To my beautiful new Mrs. Williams.